We're here at Josephson's Opticians at 16 Bloor Street West with the one and only Frédéric Beausoleil, the man, the creative director behind the Beausoleil line. As you see behind there, amazing sunglasses from France. Sir, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here with us, and welcome to Toronto. How did you get into this industry?
Well, I start to go to optic school first, to graduate as an optician, but my hobby was sculpture.
Okay.
So after my optic school, I decided to create a small workplace, handcraft place, to make my first frames. It was kind of sculpture because I was doing all of them by hand.
Wow.
And step by step the company grew, but I chose this career because it was a mix of my education and a mix of my hobby.
Oh, perfect. What about the aesthetics of what your sunglasses are all about? What makes them so different than others?
So on Beausoleil collection, I always want to exprime or to show the French elegance, but with no ostentation. Mm-hmm. So something chic but pure, with mostly no logo, no name out. So for my customers who are living in big towns all over the world, mm-hmm. So elegance but without ostentation, with beautiful material, brown material, not only beautiful tortoiseshell, but also a very rich and deep range of colors.
That's amazing.
And everything is made in my own plant, because I build my own plant on the west coast of France.
Okay.
Beausoleil company is established in Paris, but the plant is in Brittany. Mm-hmm. So all Beausoleil are made in France.
The company started in 1987, if I'm correct?
Yes.
Yes. How have you noticed the industry change since the first time you started and what it is now, especially when it comes to men wearing sunglasses? Could you comment on that at all?
Yeah, sunglasses and frames in general 20 years ago start to be a very, very important accessory in fashion. Mm-hmm. Because first it's a very accessible object, mm-hmm. And it's also a beautiful object for the personality. Okay. So since 20 years, brands, the couture, mm-hmm. Understand that, and they invest a lot in sunglasses, and as a publisher, you know that frame industry is one of the biggest buyer of mm-hmm. advertisement page. Yeah. So the industry changed because Les Griffes, the brands, mm-hmm. develop a lot of sunglasses or ophthalmic collections. Okay. Before it was only or mostly designer, lunetier, specialist about frames, and now every brand have a sunglasses or ophthalmic collection. Yeah. So the competition is much more harder now. Mm-hmm. Plus, if you had private label, all opticians have their own private label mostly now. So competition between designer and brands, and compare
opticians.
Yes, so the competition is huge compared 20 years ago. Wow. But the market is growing very fast because people understand that one frame, it's too short, it's too minimalist, mm-hmm. to exprime or to enjoy the way of life. Mm-hmm. If you do some sport, you can't use the same frame as you work with.
It's so almost a very lifestyle.
Exactly, and multi-position is in a big development. Mm-hmm. People start to have many frames in sunglasses or in ophthalmic to show how they can be different.
Amazing. One last question. Being a men's blogger, men's stylist, I've always been curious to know how the demographic split is. Like when you create frames, has there been a shift in how many men are now taking an interest in sunglasses over the years, or do you still find that it's mostly directed towards women and then men make up a very small component?
No, more and more. women were mostly in advance in terms of fashion accessory.
Yeah.
Because men focus in a short number of accessory like watch, shoes, and frames now. Frames are very important because they participate to the expression of the face, the expression of the character. So men's develop more and more interest in accessory, but not only fashion or look, but also in technical and sports frames. So market is bigger and bigger, and most of the designer or brands focus on ladies. So there is space to do research and to be creative and innovating for men collections.
That's amazing to hear. Thank you so much for taking the time. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you
so
very much to be interested in Beausoleil brand. Thank you.